Last year, after a decade in public service, I quit my job at the President of Mexico's legal office and took the risk of stepping into the arena in an entirely different way. And last September, when a devastating earthquake hit Mexico, my efforts to help took me to Los Reyes, La Paz, a marginalized neighborhood 2 hours from Mexico City. As I drove there, parks turned into trees, then into dust. La Paz means peace, but crime is high and people don't feel safe. We talk a lot about the wall, yet many places both sides of the border are divided by other intangible walls. In Mexico, 7 out of 10 people have never been a part of any group or association of any kind. Where there should be community, there is isolation and loneliness. The earthquake destroyed parts of the La Paz Community Center, so people had to take their workshops on the curb for months. Through Ensamble, the movement that I started earlier this year to turn isolated individuals into organized, purposeful communities, I invited the neighbors to rebuild it. Mari, one of the only 2 people that showed up to our first meeting, grew up in the fields of Los Reyes, La Paz, and remembers walking along the train tracks holding her older brother's hand. The train is now the subway, the fields have all been paved, and she can't play outside with her own kids because it isn't safe. Her aim is to make the community a place where her children can have the childhood that she did. Together, we decided to assemble 500 neighbors to rebuild the damages from the earthquake and use that energy to keep strengthening the community. And that's how Los 500 por la Paz was born. 2 people became 6, and 6 became 30. Today, Los 500 consists of teenagers, kids, adults, and elderly people who are organized, empowered, and share a purpose. Like Mari, everyone has a reason why they want to help. We're growing in numbers, but also geographically. We are preparing to launch a second group of Los 500 in a completely different part of Mexico. That so many are taking action has strengthened my belief that every community in Mexico has at least 500 people who want to bring down their walls, and that together we will. We live in a global community. We struggle with the same problems, and we have to learn from the fights and mistakes of our neighbors. These lessons from Mexico are also how Americans can build a more perfect union by empowering today those who have been powerless so far. Tearing down the wall is simple. First, take a small step together with 500 of your closest neighbors. Then take another one.
No somos uno, no somos dos, somos 500 y vamos por la paz.